Everyone, it's Di here from Di's Den, and sorry if you can hear the rain outside. It is pouring and we're loving some rain. We haven't had any real rain since November or October, November last year, so it's really been great to hear it on the roof there. Anyway, today's card is a split panel card, and this is how it looks. I'm pretty sure I've done this before, and it stands up really nicely. This was my prototype one, and I was really happy with the way it turned out. So I decided to do another one, and this time I wanted to do it as a man's card, and I used the dies that this set here called Notes and Totes, which come as a bundle with these dies that make up this lovely bag. But I wanted it to look like a workman's bag, so I've actually screwed it up a little bit after I did it, and then put some early espresso ink on it so it looks a bit dirty. So that's why I did it that way, but we're going to be using it today to make a nice summery one, wherever summer is. Help, come back summer. So for this card I'm going to use the Just a Note and Send in Warm Wishes. So I've got those out and done. We're also going to be using the 2025-27 in colour flat pearls, and I'm going to be using these strawberry slush ones because we're doing the strawberry slush. I'm also going to use one of these, which is the Greetings from the All Mixed and Match ephemera pack. And I've already cut out, but I haven't made it up because I'll show you how it makes up, the bag with this handle, not this handle, with a pocket on the front. And I've used some old paper as well. I've done the sunglasses, but I've also cut out the shell and the starfish. So let me pop them out of the way, but I've already cut them all out, so let me show you. I don't know if you can hear that rain, it's really coming down. Now let me show you what you need. It's not a real lot really, and the main part is making up the bag. So let's pop them on one side and I'll show you. So this is my bag. I've got the two pieces here. All I've done is folded them, scored them so that I can see where we're going. There's my pocket and my handles. These came out of the middle of my sunglasses, so I'm going to use them for little bits on the card somewhere, maybe on here. I'm not sure yet, so we'll just pop them there. This is the card that goes inside, and there's my other bits. Okie dokie. Oh, that's a bit of scrap. Don't know why that was put in there. Okay. I used this embossing folder called So Swirly, because I really wanted those swirls so it looked like, from the other piece, it looked like the waves as well. So let me show you. So for our main card we need a piece that measures, let me bring that down here so I can read, 11 3/4 by 4 1/8. Whoa, that sounded a bit horrible out there. Okay, then we're going to need two pieces of card that measure 3 7/8 by 1 3/8. So I'm going to need two pieces of them, and another piece that measures 3 7/8 by 2 3/8. Then you're going to need two pieces of designer series paper, and this one is the one with the an old one from the Ocean Papers, but I just wanted that colour in there because it matches in with what I've got. So this piece you'll need two pieces that measure 3 5/8 by 1 1/8, and then you'll need another piece which I've just done as a plain piece because it's going to be behind this and you won't see it, but I've actually embossed it with that So Swirly paper embossing folder, and this piece is 3 5/8 by 2 1/8. So you can do that in designer series paper if you want to. In this one I actually did it with the silver with the checker plate on it. On the other one I just used the green instead of putting another layer on there. I just left that and I embossed that one. So it's entirely up to you how you do that. So for my note to go in my pad, which will be 2 1/4 by 3 1/8. I don't know if I need to cut that down. And then my insert will be 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 and 3 5/8 by 5 3/8. So that's all our bits. So let's put all these on one side for a minute and let's make up this bag so I can show you how it goes together. Oh, excuse me. I had a frog in my throat this morning. Okay, so you're going to need 2 of these to cut out, and you're going to fold them on all the score lines. On all the score lines on both of them, which I've already done, but we'll do just a quick do around so you can see that they've got to go there. And these little flaps here, they just go in like so. Okay, so now we're going to actually glue these pieces together at the base. So we're going to put some glue on one of these bases. Let's move that back out of the way for a minute. And we're going to pop this one on top. Making sure that you don't go over these things here. Okay, so that's that bit done. Then you're going to glue these little tabs to them bits there, like so. That's the hardest, probably the hardest part. I found it easier to fold them back like so and just put a tinsy bit of glue on, and you need to do all 4 of them at the same time. My glue is coming out, and then we're just going to bring that across like so and bring it in and hold that down. Oops, and then the same on this side to bring that one in and hold it down. Once you've done that, let's get them nicely down there. You're going to bring these 2 together. Now you can either pop them over the top like so, or you can actually glue them on the sides. Now I'm going to pop mine down on this side. I'm just popping that glue on there, and I'm going to glue that one down there. Get on there, get on there. Once I've got that one on there, and this back up the top there, I'm going to push that one back in place. So that is in there like so. Then this one's going to be able to fold like so then. It's a little bit tricky, but don't worry too much. Whatever side you've put that one on, make sure you put the other one to match. I'll pop a little bit of glue down this side. I don't like the way that's coming out, but there you go. I'll bring that one up inside there like that. Once that's all dry, we can then fold that. And I'm not worried that that's not folded properly because of the fact that it's going to be at the back. So let me pop that down. It's nice and tight like that for a minute. And then we'll bring that one over like so. Okay, so we've got our bag shape. And those bits in there are going to sit up in there nicely. Like so. But you're not going to see them, so in this case, the way we're making it, so we're not too worried. Oh, come on, get back in there, you silly thing. Let's put a bit more on that one. Okay, so we need to make sure that we've got our joins at the back, and we're going to pop our pocket on the front. Now, I'm going to wipe that across there because this is annoying me. It usually only does that when it's hot. And today it's not, it's definitely cold. So I'm going to put my pocket on the front of my bag, wherever I want it. I don't want it too high and I don't want it too low. If that makes sense. Alright, so we're going to do that. Then we're going to pop our handles on. So we're only going to put the glue from that joint, that edge there, so that I know that they are going to be in the same place on both sides. Handle, one, turn it over, you get off of their shell. Handle number 2. I'm not putting the lid back on the glue while it's popping out like this. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm then going to push that down like so that it's nice and flat, because we want it fairly flat. So I'm going to see if my little words are going to sit in here nicely, and they are. I'm just going to lift them up a tiny bit like so. So I'm going to glue that in place like this. I'm going to just pop some glue along the bottom, and I'm going to pop this in back in the card so that says just a note sticking out the top like that. So that this doesn't plop together. You could put something else in there. If you wanted to put a gift card in there, you could. I'm just going to use some dimensionals wherever I've got them. They are. And I'm going to just pop some dimensionals along this top edge like so. Just 3 of them in this case for my bag. This is what I did also on my toolbox bag. Pop them off. So I'll show you what that looks like. You can see that I've popped them across the top there. That way, that one's still got the paper on it. That way I can close that up like that, and it's not going to flap open, and it's not going to be getting in the way then. You can't see that handle, so you could have actually left that off if you wanted to. So that's our bag done. Let's pop that out of the way with the sunglasses and everything else for a moment, and bring in the main card. So we're going to do the main card. We're going to score our main card, and I'm going to score on my trimmer today because I'm going to then need to cut. So I'm going to do it all on the one thing. So I'm going to score this at 5 7/8 of an inch. Once I've done that, I'm then going to bring this down to, I can't remember, 1 5/8 of an inch. So I'm going to bring this down to 1 5/8 of an inch, 1 4 5/8 of an inch, and I'm going to cut that off. Then I'm going to take this down again to 2 5/8 of an inch, and I'm going to cut that piece off too. So I have 3 pieces of card now and my score line. Okay, I still haven't changed that blade, so I'm just going to give that a rub down. That's it. Okay, so we've got our main card, and we've got our score line here at the 5 and 7/8 mark. We're going to bring that in, and we're going to actually fold and burnish them, that score line just there. And I'm just going to get rid of those grippy edges on that bit there too. There we go. Make sure I've got them all on these. I've got to get those blades. Alright, so once we've done that, we're going to bring in our pieces, which are our 2 pieces that measure 3 and 5/8 by 1 3/8, and our 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 3 and 5/8 by 1 1/8, and we're also going to bring in our 2 pieces of card that measure 3 and 5/8 by 2 3/8, 3 and 7/8 by 2 3/8, and 2 and 5/8 by 1 1/8, 2 and 1/8. Oh, I'll get there in a minute. Okay, so let's see if I can do this without making a mess. I'm going to rub this all down the side of this again. I'm going to put some glue onto this piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to put it on my layer here. And I'm going to do the same with my other bit. Now I didn't want the blue ocean, I wanted the pink ocean so that it matches in with the rest of the card. So that's why I used that side. of that, and then one of these is actually going to get stuck onto that 1 5/8 piece that you cut off. And then the other piece is going to get stuck onto this piece, which is exactly the same width. This is 1 5/8 again. So we're going to glue that piece onto there. This glue is, thank goodness it doesn't dry sticky. So we've got our two pieces, that one goes there and that one's going to go there. So these three pieces are going to get stuck together. So that's the piece that we cut out of the middle here, which is 4 1/8 by 2 5/8, along with our two pieces of paper, one that could be designer series paper, or in this case I've embossed this piece. This is the piece we're going to pop on top of there. And then that one on top of that one. Okay, so once we've done that, we're then going to make sure that we can line these up nicely, and we want to work out whether or not we want to put this in the middle or to one side. Now I'm going to put mine in the middle, so I'm going to see that I need to be about that much. So I'm going to turn it over. This is going to be lined up along the bottom. I'm going to turn it over like this so I can pop that on there, and then I can just draw a line like this so that I know it doesn't have to be a really good line, but I don't put any glue any further up than that. So I'm going to do the top one first. I'm going to put some glue onto that, and I'm going to pop this back in here, making sure that's nice and even still, and pop that down. Check it that there's no glue coming out the top. Give that a squish down. Then I'm going to pop some glue onto this bottom section, and I'm going to then stand this up like so. I found this the easiest way for me. Stand it up so that I can get the sides right and the bottom straight, and then I can just push that down like so, and then lay it down flat. That way I know I've got this is flat along the bottom here. See, nice and flat along the bottom, and we can swish that down nice and tight, and we can see that there's nothing showing, no glue showing. So that is the main part of the card. So now we're going to bring in our insert, and this is one of the things you're going to watch. You're going to pop your inserts into the card like so, and close it over, and the saying that you're going to put on the inside, you're going to see whether or not it's going to show if you pop it in the middle or whether you need to pop it down the bottom. For me, it's not going to show if I put it in the middle, so I'm going to pop my words into the middle of my card, and I'm using strawberry slush here. So, and I've just got sending warm wishes, and I'm going to pop that into the middle of my card like so. Once I'm happy with that, let's pop that back on there, turn this over and give this a glue to the other layer. With my first one, I'll show you in a moment. Just pop this one on here first. I put my saying down the bottom. I just put my sending warm wishes down the bottom, but you could have put it in the middle. Okay, so we're going to glue this piece into the middle of the card. And I'm going to pop that into the middle of the card like so. So we've actually virtually got our card already made. So now we're going to pop this onto the front. Now we want to make sure that whichever way you put it, I think it needs to go that way, just straight. So you can pop that down straight like that, or you can put it up on dimensionals. I'm actually going to put it up on dimensionals because I just don't want to put too many in the wrong spot. So I'm going to look, and I can see that where those two score marks are, I don't want to go past those with my dimensionals. I'm going to pop them on there. I can't even see this. The light in here today seems really bad. I'm going to pop them down there. And one in the middle just here. Okay. It's up to you if you want to put it on with the dimensionals or whether you would like to put it on with glue. And I'm having trouble getting the dimensionals off today. Backing off of them. As I say, I'm going to put that on straight. I'm going to press from the back down on that so that I know it's stuck now nicely. Okay, so that's the main part of the card. The rest is just decoration. So I'm going to put my, I think I'm going to put my sunglasses and that down there, and my, whatever that thing's called, shell. It's a shell. Oh dear me, I can't even think. I can't think properly today, I think. Come on. I'll put my shell up here, my sunglasses down here, and my little hearts I'm going to actually put on the inside. Oh, I haven't put them on yet. Let's see, let's pop these little hearts on the inside. I've got it upside down. That makes it really hard to put one in there, doesn't it? And you've got it up. Now these came out of the middle of the sunglasses. You throw them away if you don't want them, but I just thought, well, why not just pop them in there, and the inside like so. That's that. You don't want one of the smaller dimensionals for on the back of this. So pop that onto there. Get off my finger, pop him down there. So I'm going to use one of these sayings, and I thought I would use the best wishes off of this one. I'm going to just pop that out. Make sure I've only got one, yes. So you get two sheets of exactly the same. They are really nice. And I'm going to pop that across the middle like so. So I'm going to pop that up on some dimensionals. Oops, let's pop them up the right way. Now I'm going to just pop that across the middle like so. And we'll finish off with some of the bling, and I'll only use these little ones, medium sized ones I mean. So let's pop one here. I don't think we can get any on that, so let's pop one, I don't know where, there, and one more which I will try and get onto that. Get on there, on the edge there, or no, on the edge, up there. Okay, so that was today's card, It's called a split panel card, and it was using that Notes and Totes, and I think it's gorgeous. You could push this down even more in the middle if you don't want the height for posting. You could just pop that down a little bit like so, so that it comes down a tiny bit as well. So it looks a bit like that on the bottom. Then you've given it like a normal shopping bag. So those are my cards, showing you that you can do that Notes and Totes as a bag for a man's card. These are all using the papers that are all ready retired, called Totally Tools. But this is just such a lovely idea. You could do it for both male and female, and I'm really happy with that. This one I actually stuck it differently on the side, so I will, when I do it again, I'll probably show you how I did the other one. So if you've enjoyed today's card and you'd like the written tutorial for this, head down here to Di's Den for Stamping, Crafting and Tutorials. It's my Facebook group, and I'm going to just pop the pin in this glue now before it goes all everywhere. There you'll find the written tutorial, which will go live exactly the same time and date. So if you're looking at this down the track, like a year down the track or a month, couple of months down the track, just check the date on the YouTube video, and then when you go to the Facebook group, if you're not a member, please answer the question and you can join the group. Then you can just go up to Files, look for the same date, and you'll find it. It will be named exactly the same name, split panel card, and it will be the same date and the same time. So I will see you all again next week. Bye for now.